And so there is that discussion of what can this person actually do and what's the price for that person doing it. To the extent law firms think they can skinny back on their professional development programs in a time of economic distress, I would suggest that the moose on the table is that the partnerships are all focusing on keeping their profits per equity partner at the same levels they've been at or close to it. And that is a very short-term view of things, because one of the frustrations of in-house counsel with law partners is the partners were making too much money to begin with. When they're making more than the CEO makes, it can raise some interesting issues in the discussion of why are you hiring that law firm. But the second piece is, to the extent that they are not going to invest in that smaller but more in demand group of people that they'll be pulling through the system, that's just very short-term thinking.
Can I make one other thing on the professional development? In our firm, and I think a number of others, I know Alston Bird too, we have a growing number of non-lawyer professionals in our firm. We have a big government affairs practice, again, like Liz's firm does, I know. But also a lot of areas, and so again, the professional development folks are not just focused on how can we bring along the lawyers, how do we just have an advancement system for lawyers. It's a whole vast array of professionals who work together to deliver these very complex problem-solving solutions to our clients. We have PhDs, all kinds of folks, and so that becomes another element of this. It's not just all legal training. How are you going to advance those people, advance their career, make them better too? So again, it only gets more difficult for the professional development professional.
I want to go back to Jeffrey's helpful vision that the economy will get better and that recruiting will heat up and become competitive again, and shift our focus for a moment to the lateral situation. Fred Krebs, who's the executive director at ACC, was in our first roundtable, and he said something that's been quoted a lot, and that is that the client actually doesn't mind paying for an associate to be trained, but they don't want to do it over and over and over again. If they've paid for it, they want that associate with them for a period of time, doing the work with some level of expertise and familiarity with the client's needs and the relationship and all of that. So for years in this industry, our focus was on the problem of voluntary attrition, and that has all but stopped. But we assume that when the economy heats up, that will begin again. And we've pared down the associate ranks. In some ways, we're left with, hopefully, the very best associates that we had. They will in some ways probably be the most competitive in a hotter lateral market. And I'm wondering what firms are doing to shore up loyalty and guard against hemorrhaging, and also just how you're thinking about, in a more heated economic environment, what are we going to do with this slimmer talent pool to hold on to it, based on the really kind of what I think of as a newly stated client imperative that we're just not going to be comfortable with this rotating door that you've had prior to the recession. And I don't know that there's any good answer to that, but I think it's a problem we can see in the tunnel, the headlight, the train. It's